all about Seguin, Texas. Seguin, S-E-G-U-I-N. Welcome everyone, I'm Tony Freese with Uncommon Realty. And on this channel I talk about living and playing in New Braunfels, Texas and other cities and towns in between Austin and San Antonio. Today I'm in Seguin, Texas, and I thought I'd try something a little different. Okay, in truth, I hadn't really planned out this video at all. I was on vacation last week, check out the video, and I hadn't really put anything to paper, so I'm gonna rattle off some Seguin, Texas highlights, facts, history, stuff like that, plus a few things I know about this place, and we'll splice in some drone footage and other stuff here and there. It may or may not be relevant to what I'm actually talking about, but hopefully you'll come away with a pretty good snapshot of this friendly little town. Let's start with the name, Seguin. It's French, possibly of Germanic origin. The modern German word Sieg means victory, which is kind of interesting because the town was named after Juan Seguin, one of Sam Houston's best lieutenants throughout the struggle for Texas independence. Colonel Seguin participated in the great victory at San Jacinto. Later he served as a Republic of Texas senator and as mayor of San Antonio. The community was established in 1838, just a couple of years after Texas won its independence. It was originally called Walnut Springs, but after only 6 months, the residents decided to change the name to honor the colonel. One more thing about Juan Seguin. He died in 1890 in Nuevo Laredo, just across the Mexican border from Laredo, Texas, and he was buried there. His remains were returned to Seguin in the 1970s and reinterred as part of bicentennial celebrations on July 4th, 1976. So where is Seguin, Texas? It's about 15 miles southeast of New Braunfels, 36 miles east of San Antonio. You're just going to take I-10 over there. It's 22 miles directly south of San Marcos on Highway 123. And if you're going to go to Austin from San Marcos, it's another 30 miles. The closest beach, if you need to know that, is going to be a 2-hour drive to 6 Mile Road in Calhoun, Texas. And it's flat here. If you're looking for hill country, Seguin isn't it. By the way, where am I standing right now? I'm in Max Starcke Park. In an earlier video, I came here during the winter and promised to come back when things turn green. I think I called it Riverside Park then, which might be a mistake. This is really only my second visit here today. So comment below and check me. I'm pretty sure it's Max Starcke Park. Well, regardless, here I am, standing under one of the lovely pecan trees in the middle of summer. Check it out. Now for a few of those highlights and statistics. I've got my cheat sheet here. As far as the economy goes, the unemployment rate in Seguin is 5.8%. The U.S. average is 6%. Recent job growth is positive. Seguin jobs have increased by 1.6% over last year. Compared to the rest of the country, Seguin's cost of living is 7.2% lower than the U.S. average. In Seguin, the summers are hot and oppressive. The winters are short, cold, and windy. It's partly cloudy year-round. Over the course of the year, the temperature varies from 42 degrees to 96 degrees Fahrenheit, and it rarely gets below 30 or above 101. Right now, on July 27th, 2021, it's 93 degrees. In the last presidential election, Guadalupe County remained overwhelmingly Republican, 61.2% to 37%. The town's population is just over 30,000 people. Since 2010, it has had a population growth of 21.99%, and it's currently growing at a rate of 1.19% annually. The median price of a home in June 2021 was $268,000. That's up 27% from the same time last year. Almost 60% of that were homes priced between $200,000 and $299,000. Niche.com gives the Seguin Independent School District a C+ overall grade. There are about 15.7 students per teacher. Some northern parts of the city are located in the Navarro ISD, which gets an A- and has a 15-to-1 student-teacher ratio. The rate of crime in Seguin is 27.88% per 1,000 residents during a standard year. It's about the same as the average U.S. city. Seguin is in the 47th percentile for safety, meaning 53% of U.S. cities are safer and 47% are more dangerous. When looking at violent crime versus property crime, violent crime is lower than the U.S. average, and property crime here is higher. People who live in Seguin generally consider the southwest part of the city to be the safest. For things to do around here, well, nearby you've got the Starcke Park golf course, open daily from 6:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's a top-rated 18-hole course winding along the Guadalupe River and lined with mature pecan trees. I definitely want to mention ZDT Amusement Park for a fun-filled day out with your family. I took my oldest grandson there recently and made a video of that, so check it out. The park features the Switchback roller coaster, a go-kart racetrack, a water park, and unlimited video game arcade, all included for one price. It seems like I think we paid about $25 per person online. A visit to Suns Island on the Guadalupe River almost feels like a trip away from Texas into a tropical oasis with their Yucatan-style cabanas. Those cabanas can be rented by the day. They come with a private dock, a grill, a hammock. You can fit up to 15 people there. They've got kayaks, paddleboarding, floating mats. There's a water slide, beach volleyball and fishing, live music on Friday and Saturday nights, and they've got overnight camping setups. By the way, there's a public boat launch under one of the I-10 bridges in Seguin. You can take a kayak all the way up the Guadalupe, past Suns Island, and up to a dam, which Suzanne and I tried to do this one day, but the current was too strong and it was too far. We got tired and came back. We'll have to try that again sometime. I think you have to visit the historic downtown. You'll find vintage treasures, unique gift ideas, pottery painting, preserved historical buildings, terrific restaurants, and the Seguin Brewing Company. One thing I have never done is eat at a power plant. The power plant grill used to be an operating power plant from the 1890s or something. Now it serves as a one-of-a-kind restaurant serving up cocktails, steaks, fried fish, that kind of stuff. You can walk along the bridge overlooking the water. If you've been there, leave me a comment. Let me know if that's something Suzanne and I should check out. Now, before I get to my last and what some might consider the most important distinguishing landmark that virtually defines Seguin, let me ask you to give the video a like if you found it helpful. Comment if you want to add anything, or correct me if I said something wrong, which of course I've been known to do. And consider subscribing to my channel. I'm trying to get one video out per week. Right now we're working on one where my wife Suzanne is going to be in charge, so that ought to be interesting. Stay tuned for that. Thanks. Now, I've mentioned pecans and pecan trees a couple of times in this video already, so I should make the point that Seguin, the pecan capital of Texas, regained the title of world's largest pecan in 2011, which it had lost to another giant pecan in the 1980s. So you're probably gonna want to take a picture of yourself in front of this 16-foot long creation before heading into the Nutcracker Museum. They tell me there's 8,000 nutcrackers inside. Well, the original pecan champ, a half-ton pecan, has rested atop a monument on the Seguin courthouse lawn since 1962. That 5-foot-long pecan was dedicated to Cabeza de Vaca, a Spanish explorer who was held captive on the Guadalupe, then known as the River of Nuts, for 10 years. Anyway, an enterprising couple from Brunswick, Missouri, came along in 1982 and built a 6-ton pecan monster to put in front of something called the Nut Hut in Brunswick. Selling postcards and spreading fame, this of course was a big problem for Seguin, so the president of the Seguin Area Chamber of Commerce traveled to Brunswick in 2007 and took pictures. She vowed that Seguin would reclaim its title, and in late 2011, it did. Behold the new champion. Are these pecans real? Well, you're just gonna have to come down and find out. There's a lot more here in Seguin, but you know what? Not a whole lot more. It's small. Okay. There's not a lot of well-paying jobs. Nonviolent property crime is a little high. Schools could be a little better, but they're improving. There's been a lot of positive change in the last 10 years or so. I've seen it myself. The city's invested wisely in parks, a gorgeous new library, and improvements downtown. Housing is affordable, cost of living is low, and you have the benefit of easy commutes to San Antonio, New Braunfels, or San Marcos. Nearby Lake McQueeney and the Guadalupe River are great places to enjoy small recreational boats, kayaks, fishing, swimming, or just relaxing. It's traditionally been blue collar, but it's attracted people from larger cities recently due to the low taxes and other benefits of a slower pace town life. This is what has infused the tax base and funded the improvements. I hope this video was helpful. I'll probably come back and do some neighborhood tours at some point. If you're interested in moving to Seguin, New Braunfels, San Marcos, or anywhere in between Austin and San Antonio, give me a call. That's the best way to get a hold of me. I love taking these calls. You can also text or email, and you can do it anytime, day or night. If you're still looking for more info in this general area, check out one of these other videos right now. It's the Air Force Base.